We are back. It is the Gone for 10 show. It's week 2 of the finals. I am your host, Tony. I am joined by Baxter. Baxter, your team will not be featuring in this week of the finals, but you've got that smile on your face because they're in the prelim. My team will not be featuring, and I don't have a smile because we are out. We're probably in Bali. We're probably getting ready for the World Cup. But let's jump straight into it. It's the Parramatta Eels taking on the Raiders. If you're new here, hit like, hit subscribe. And how it works is I will say the home team, Baxter will say the away team. We'll switch it if one of our teams are playing. Obviously, in a few weeks, he will say the Cowboys lineup. But number 1, Clint Gufferson. Number 2, Sivo. Number 3, Will Penasini. Number 4, Tom Opposich. Number 5, Waka Blake. 6, Dylan Brown. 7, Mitchell Moses. 8, Regan Campbell-Gillard. 9, Mahoney. 10, Junior Polo. 11, Sean Lane. 12, Isaiah Papali'i. 13, Ryan Madison. 14, Makeshi Makatoa. 15, favorite son, Jake Arthur. 16, Oregon Kafusi. 17, Marata Nikakore. And number 18, Nathan Brown. I'll throw it over to you, Baxter. Talk me through this Raiders squad.
We got Xavier Savage in the fullback role. You got Nick Kotrick and Jordan Rapana make the wingers. You got Matthew Timico and Sebastian Chris in the centers. You got Jack Whiten and Jamal Fogarty in the halves. You got Josh Papali'i and Joseph Tarpany in the forward pack role. You got Zach Wolfwood in the hooker role. You got Hudson Young and Elliot Whitehead in the second row, and Corey Nara in the lock position. You got Tom Starling. You got E.G. Corey Hornsborough and Ryan Sutton in the bench role, and Albert Hopewate in the 18 jersey at the moment, which I'm hearing it might change. You got Chad Nickel-Coolstack, who's named at 22. There are rumours that he might be a sniff in to make that 18th man jersey. So we'll just have to wait and see on Friday night.
I can tell you what, I would absolutely be buzzing if he does come into that lineup. Obviously, we saw the raw emotion he did have in a New South Wales Cup game when he knew it was the last time he was going to play in front of those Canberra fans. So would be buzzing for him if he comes in. Now, as obviously we see right there, Mitchell Moses is named at the number 7. He is confident he will play. However, he does need an independent doctor to clear him due to, I believe it was a Category 1 concussion, which means you're ruled out for 10 days unless a doctor does clear you. So all eyes on that. If he does play, it's the same 17 that did get smacked by Penrith. Obviously, talking points, Bailey Simonson and Bryce Cartwright are in those reserves. So the bench may change a little bit for the Raiders. Adam Elliott will miss, obviously, this game due to the pelvic injury. His starting place was taken, as you can see, by Corey Harawira Nara, with John Sutton joining the bench. Hopewadi, 18th man again. But like you said, there is plenty of options in those reserves. Now, Baxter, it's the pointy end of the season. The winner of this game takes on your boys. It's finals football. It's Friday night. It's CommBank Stadium. It's a 7:50 kickoff. I'm not sure what the weather is, but while I'm talking, I'm going to check it out. Let's type it in right now. Parramatta weather, Friday night, 24 degrees. Beautiful peachy weather, 18 at kickoff. 16-kilometre winds. Who takes this match and why?
It's going to be Raiders. I'm only saying this. This is only on... It depends on Mitchell Moses. Now, I believe about HIR, I believe you shouldn't get a clearance from an independent doctor. You should be stood down for 10 days to serve your HIA's protocols. So, look, if he's not in, and I'll say, and I think I've said it before. I don't think Jake Arthur is NRL first grade readiness. I just don't think he has it in him. To put him on the bench as well, he doesn't really cover a lot of positions around the park. Like, he can only really play 6-7 because if there's an injury to a center, we've seen it before. I think it was like week 1. There was an injury to one of the week 1 there was an injury to Sean Russell. He got a broken rib within the first half, so they slotted a centre out to wing. They put Dylan Brown from 6 to centre, and they put Jake Arthur in, and they didn't score a point since, and they end up almost losing against the Titans there in round 1. So I just don't see why he is named. It's not like he can cover, fullback, wing, centre, the halves, 9, and maybe a running lock role. He doesn't offer that much. So why have him on the? I think it's purely because of the father-son combo. The surname gives it away. So I'm going to lead with the Raiders here, and I'm going to give it to a 1-12 point margin.
Listen, I think Jake Arthur's an interesting one. Now, I know Brad has had the balls to drop him in the past, so I don't think it's a father-son thing. I think he is in this lineup because Brad Arthur, in a sense, is saying, you motherfuckers got yourselves into this 17, 18, work yourself out, work your way back into the finals contention. Now, obviously, like you said, Jake Arthur, he can play centers. Usually doesn't happen. Usually he does go into that number 6 and Dylan Brown does shift into the center position. But I think for this game, they've named him at 15. It could still change massively. Obviously, they'd be sweating on what happens to Mitchell Moses now.
Yeah.
Jake Arthur as a player himself, I think if he goes to a bottom, let's say 6 side, I think he's NRL quality. But to be anything above that at this stage, I don't think he should be playing. But again, he is there. No one gets scrutinized more than the coach's son. So I kind of feel for him. I will definitely know that. I've had games where I've copped it when my dad was my coach. And you're always trying to go that extra mile where you are trying to prove yourself. You were my teammate, so I hope I did prove myself and I didn't get in purely because of my dad.
I'm not saying a word there.
But obviously, like you said, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a 1-12. If Mitchell Moses does not play, I'm siding with the Raiders 1-12. If Mitchell Moses does play, I'm going with the Raiders still, but I'm going at a 1-4. I think he has the potential at CommBank to keep them in this game. But for me, the key player of this game, and the only way Parramatta do get through this game is if Dylan Brown has an absolute cracker. Young, number 6, playing brilliant football. I think that's the only way they get out of this game. And obviously, Clint Gufferson, Wacker Blake, they need to have a solid game at the back. But Baxter, before we move on, we've both gone 1-12. I've gone a bit smaller if Moses does play. Do you have any final talking points? And I guess, once again, who do you want to play in the prelim?
Look, I'm siding with Canberra if Moses doesn't play 1-12. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to go 1-12. 1-4 Parramatta if Moses does play. I think just him back in the side. They look strong against Parramatta if they held their own until he got knocked out. So I'm going to lean that way if he does play. If I had to take something out of it, I'd love to take Parramatta. Chokers, they're good for that. It'd just be funny to see them get to a prelim since, 2009 and come out and choke. So, come on.
Now, obviously, the important question, Baxter, the important question. I got there on my own merit, didn't I? It wasn't because my dad was the coach, right? I made it on my own merit.
I'm going to leave that between you and your dad because I had nothing to do with it.
Well, you know what? There was 4 other coaches once he coached me, and they all kept me in the side. So I must have been doing something right.
You
but
were.
Baxter, it was an absolute pleasure to obviously talk about this game. We both have the Raiders advancing into the next stage. Obviously, the only thing would be, obviously, if Mitchell Moses plays, you do give him a chance. I do give him a chance. But obviously, this has been the Eels versus Raiders preview, and we will be back to talk about the Sharks taking on the Rabbitohs at Allianz Stadium.
All right, see you then.